it's Nurseamy back on your screen. How you all doing? Today is another wonderful day. You know, every day is a gift, and be grateful. So so the last video I did, I talked about a young lady who wrote to me from Cincinnati, Ohio, and of all the problems she went through. I had people write to me in my email. Loads and loads of people. And again, please keep putting your comments down there. And last time I told you I'm still giving away these books. I just want to bless more people. It's helped my students a lot. And yes, it's for sale. However, I'm giving it away. Write to me at nurseamyacademy@gmail.com and let me know. Again, if you're not interested, I can keep my things away. But so one of the letters that I got, no, it wasn't just one letter. It was more people just writing to me. I keep saying letters. God, I am showing my age. Is an email, and I did say I was going to start talking about things, the do's and don'ts about CNAs. And one of them is the running thread of the emails that I got was, yeah, but the thing is, if you don't listen to these nurses, they have a way of getting you in trouble. They will write you up. They will gang up against you, or they will report you. I don't want to lose my job. As it is now, there are no jobs, and you know, it's better to just go with the flow, go with the grain, you know, and not ruffle any feathers. Now, I understand that. Okay, one thing I will tell you is I'm a very realistic person. I am very realistic, and I'm not one of those people who just keep their heads in the clouds. I don't. However, let's look at it. Okay, you as a CNA, you do have your scope of practice. Okay, there are things that you can and cannot do. So in essence, the law protects you in that aspect, right? The law protects you in your scope of practice. So as a nurse, as a registered nurse, as an LPN, as a doctor, as a nurse practitioner, as a PA, and whatever your job description is, the law also protects us in what we can and cannot do. For one thing, being a registered nurse, I cannot prescribe medicine. So it doesn't matter that I'm working with a doctor and he says, oh, you know what, go ahead and give this person 650 milligram of, I don't know, Tylenol, PO every day, blah, 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 and then put your name on it and write the signature, you know, sign it. It doesn't matter how I love that doctor. I don't even care if my husband is the doctor or the doctor is my husband. I cannot append my signature to that. Why? Because that's not my job. It's not in my scope of practice. So if I do get caught and they see that, then I'm in trouble, because then ignorance is not, what's the word now? That's the way that I said. You just being ignorant doesn't help you, okay? So ignorance is not an excuse. You cannot, you know, you need to know what your scope of practice is. And that's something I always tell my students. You've got to know your scope of practice and practice within your scope of practice, okay? So for those CNAs that are scared and saying, well, you know what, if I don't do it because I don't want to lose my job, they will write me up. Please, I'm giving you permission now. Well, permission is in, please let me know. Let me know, write to me, comment, whatever, if there's any, because it's almost seems I'm ready to take on this mantle and this fight, because no one can write you up for a job you're not allowed to do. Does that make sense? I tell my students this, and I have had people come into my class and say, oh, so I wasn't supposed to do treatments. You'll remember I talked about a young lady in my last episode. I wasn't supposed to give them the insulin shot. No. Understand this. In certain institutions, like if you're a PCA and you've been taught, again, remember, you've been taught, meaning that the licensing over that institution has made you inclusive, in that you've been taught, you have certificates, you've been told that you can do certain things and you're covered, okay? Then that's different. Okay, because I know people will come and say, well, you know what, they taught me to insert catheters. I don't know where that's done, but I've had people tell me that before. There's certain ways you do things in a hospital, and there's certain ways you do things in the nursing home or in home health. All you need to know, the onus is on you to know what you can and cannot do. If you're not sure, call the Board of Nursing, call the Nursing Assistant Department of Health, so they can put you through. Okay, there are places where you can read these things and then you know. So as nursing assistants, you are not allowed to give shots. You cannot be giving insulin. You cannot be giving one of the ones that I got was when we were, oh God, this is crazy. I don't even know where this is. This person didn't tell me, but COVID testing, she's like, oh, well, I'm a CNA, but I swab the nose and we do it. I'm like, did they say it was okay for you to do? She's like, well, if I don't do it, the nurse asked me to do it and we're short-staffed. This is my thing, and I understand. I totally understand you trying to keep your job. But at the end of the day, if you're caught and you're not supposed to, guess what? You're not going to keep that job. Does that make sense? You won't be keeping that job. If anything, if you're not fired, you might get in trouble. Now, getting fired, you would. That's even small, meaning that means you got away with the skin of your teeth. But you might get in trouble. And how do people get in trouble? It's when things go wrong sometimes. When things go wrong, then that's when they start to investigate and they find out, oops, you're CNA, you're not supposed to be doing invasive type stuff. Okay? So what am I trying to say? Do not be scared. There are bullying nurses. There are people who bully you. That's life. People are going to bully you. Okay? But you need to, when you stand up to bullies, they back away. So sometimes even those nurses don't know what is and what isn't. Their thing is they're overwhelmed. They need to get this job done, and you're the person to do it so they can at least get a breather. Nurses are not machines. They're not evil. You need to understand that. However, are there mean people? Yes, there are. Are there people who are lazy? Yes, there are. Are there people who take advantage of what is going on? Oh, God, hello. Yes. But you cannot be fired for refusing to do a duty that is outside of your scope of practice. You don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to fight about it. Just be assertive. Just stand your ground and say, no, I'm sorry. I don't feel, first of all, I don't believe this is part of my scope of practice. And, oh, but you've been trained to do this. It's like, maybe so, but I don't feel comfortable doing it. Even as a nurse, I do that. If I go to a place, and I've shared this with my students, and I think I have shared it in some of my videos where I've been asked to do stuff. I've not worked with a certain machine before, but just because I've got RN as a title, they think I can perform magic. Well, my answer is, I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable doing this. You can show it to me, but even after showing it to me, if I'm not comfortable, I'm going to tell you I'm not comfortable. Well, because, well, at the end of the day, they're not going to say, oh, well, you know, she did say she didn't know how to do it. No, she did it. And that's that, you know. So you have got to be careful. You've got to stand your ground in a polite way. You're not fighting anyone. Actually, when you stand in the right, people tend to respect you and they back away because they know, okay, well, this one here knows her right. This one here knows his rights, okay? So I wanted to come because I got a lot of emails just telling me, well, I don't want to lose my job. This is what these nurses do. If you don't do it, they're going to write you up. Well, you know what? I challenge them to write you up. What are they going to say? I'm writing this person up because she refused to give the insulin shot. What are they going to say? I'm writing this person up because there was a wound dressing that was supposed to be done on the sacrum and he or she refused. I mean, well, what are they going to say? Seriously, if anything, they should get written up for writing nonsense. So do not be scared, okay? Because I know I got a lot of that. As long as you know, even if you have been trained, and I use myself as an example, if I'm not comfortable doing it, I'm not going to do it. That goes for Hoyer lifts. I hope you will remember you have to be 2. You have to be two. What am I doing? You have to be two to do higher lifts. And I know there's that thing that, no, there's no one else that's gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I can promise you right now, the facility isn't gonna stand behind you if something goes wrong with you being the only one using a higher lift. Why? They're just gonna go to the policy and procedure. Oh, it says, oh, to assist. That's what it says. Bye-bye. So I hope I was able to answer some questions that you guys have. Something somebody else told me I should be doing. I might start doing it, but you guys let me know. I'm gonna be going on Facebook live and answering questions, because I get so many questions that I know I don't, by the time I'm answering it here, it's not soon enough. Does that make sense? So I might start going on Facebook Live. I'll let you guys know, but this is something going into the new year. I'm getting feedback from my students that I should go on Facebook Live so people can ask me real-time questions there and there. So let me know, and y'all be safe.